What is up, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy flippinstoop. Hopefully everybody's getting done what they had to get done. You hear me in a lot of my videos. One second. You hear me in a lot of my videos talk about let's get it, right? Be the best you can be. Sometimes I'm wondering if I'm conveying the wrong message, right? Because I myself has first-handedly done this. I've literally compared myself to other people. The other people I speak about in my videos, like Rally Roots, Tech and Sports, all these guys, right? I've compared myself to them and been upset with where I'm at because I'm not there yet. But what I failed to realize, and what a lot of us fail to realize, is we just haven't put the time in they've put in, right? That's what it really boils down to. I don't want anybody to get confused in my videos and think, like, if you can't be all you can be, you're a fucking loser. I'm not trying to say that ever, right? I think we all have room for growth, and we always should. And if we feel like we can't grow anymore, that's a bad spot to be, right? You don't want to feel like you can't grow anymore. Because that's what gets us to push us to get to the next level, right? So by saying all that, the reason for this video is try not to compare yourself to others. And it's really hard with Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all these platforms, right? Facebook. People showing or resellers showing their success level, right? And you're here. It's hard. It's hard. I've done it. I'm making this video because I've done it myself numerous times. Judged myself based upon somebody else's success level in reselling. And the truth is, we don't know all the facts, right? We don't know where they're getting their products. We don't know how cheap they're getting their products. We don't know their location. Maybe they're in a wealthy location and their thrift stores are loaded with good stuff. And like where I'm at, it's not a super wealthy area. I'm not saying I live in a shithole wall somewhere on the side of the earth, right? But, you know, it's not a wealthy area. I'm not living in like freaking Beverly Hills, right? I'm not living in that area. So you got to be careful with who you judge yourself to. Now, if you're using that for an encouragement to push you harder because you believe if one person can do it, so can you, well, that's good drive. That's good motivation. I've used it for the exact opposite thing. I beat myself up because I'm not where somebody else was in the same time frame. Be happy with where you're at, right? If today's your first day and you listed your first item, you have to congratulate yourself that you at least took the courage to try something. Because most people in life really don't try anything. They just do what everybody else does, right? And that's not me judging anybody that does that. But you stepped outside of the norm and tried doing something that nobody else believes is possible, right? We'll put it that way. There are people that believe it's possible, and those are resellers themselves. But you're attempted to do something. I think it's very important to reward yourself when you hit certain goals. I'm not telling you to reward yourself for the next fucking 10 days, 3 days, a whole entire weekend, but somehow reward yourself for even taking action to take the steps it took to get your first item and list your first item. I look back at where we started to one of my main goals when I first started was to get consistent sales every day. Achieve that. Check, right? Maybe it's a good idea to write these goals down and check them off as they happen for you. And look over them often. So it's a constant reminder of the success you already have made. Because if we're only stretching for, say your goal is 6 figures a year in sales, if that's all you're stretching for and that's all you're thinking about and you're not there yet, but you have made growth, you might lose it, right? You might go off the fucking rails in just focusing on, if you always focus where you're not, you'll fucking lose your marbles, right? I've been guilty of that throughout the reselling journey. So what I'm basically just trying to convey is congratulate yourself for the steps you took to get you this far. Right, regardless where you're at, I don't care if you're getting 2 sales a month. That's better than you were before you started. If you're getting 2,000 sales a month, whatever the case may be, you took the initiative to go out there and make it happen. Be proud of yourself for doing that, right? When I told people about this 5 years ago or whatever what I was going to start doing, they're like, did you fall off a tree or something and hit your head 10 times on the way down? Nobody, whether nobody thought it was possible, maybe they just never heard of it, right? And if you don't hear of anything, and you're stuck in your world, it's hard for you to believe anything outside of the world you're in, right? So if you're getting poor results, it's hard for us to see that good results can come to us. They can. I talked about it earlier in a video about what brings the results you're seeking is execution daily. And it doesn't matter if that execution is 2 items a day. It doesn't matter the amount of items you're listing. It doesn't, depending on the number you want to get to. And maybe your goal is a sale a day for 365 days. That doesn't take 50 items a day to do that. That takes 1 item a day, 2 items a day to achieve that success you're looking for. So, I know a lot of my videos are basically predicated around trying to be all you can be, but I'm almost wondering if I'm pushing that too much, right? I think it is important to try to be all you can be, but if you never look at where you came from, for example, 6 years ago, 5 years ago or so, 6 years ago, I was a drug addict and alcoholic, right? My life was in shambles. I was a fucking complete mess. I was a basket case. I couldn't, I'd get paid one day and it'd be gone that exact same day because of drugs and alcohol, right? I'd spend it very irresponsibly and have to go the whole next week broke until I get my next check to be broke again for the next week, right? That was my lifestyle. Sometimes I don't stop to think about the progress I made in life just by stopping that shit, right? I think it's very, very important to be grateful for where you're at, right? I'm not telling you to be content. I'm not telling myself to be content, but be grateful. Sometimes I feel like I myself throughout the reselling journey has lost my focus on the progress even me and my fiance has made together as a couple, right? Or the progress we made throughout eBay, or the progress we've made in life in general. If all you're doing is focusing on a certain number and that's all you're doing all day, you're going to fucking lose your marbles. You got to be grateful. You got to find some gratitude and be proud of yourself to even take this journey. It don't matter if you ain't even thought of it yet. Or if all you have done is thought of it. Hey, caught a video on YouTube. This girl was talking about reselling, so I'm kind of kicking it around in my head right now. Congratulations to you, right? Just remember to execute. Make sure to execute daily, and you'll get the results you're looking for. You will. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen in 90 days, but you will get the results you're looking for. You can make good progress on eBay. If you started out today, right, if I gave you enough inventory for the next 90 days to list 10 items a day, every single day, and there were actually items that would sell, in 90 days, you might be real close to that 10 items in sales in a day. I think you'd be real fucking close to that. I watched Daily Refinement do a video stream a while back ago when I first started watching him. He started a side store just to prove it could be done. Now, I don't know how much inventory he had to do what he did, but I think he was able to do $1,000 in profit in less than 60 days or something shit like that. That's insane. That's insane. That means he's doing over $2,000 in sales in a week to have $1,000 profit in his pocket, right? So that just shows what can be done. I just want to make this video to make sure if some of my videos you're thinking all this dude is doing, trying to cram in my head that I can be better, I can be better, I can be better. I only say that stuff because I like to see people be the best they possibly can be. I think personal excellence is very important in life. I think it's the foundation, like personal excellence, just being a good person in everything you do the best you can do at it, right? Don't be lazy and be like, I said I'm going to do 12 items today, but you get to 10 so you don't do 12, you just get to 10, right? This is what I'm talking about. When I'm saying do what you say you're going to do and you can reach your full potential, maybe your full potential is 15 items a day. Maybe that's all you want to get it to, and there's nothing wrong with that. I was critiquing myself so bad for a while, guys. I got myself in a stage of depression. I got lost in the rabbit hole on YouTube. I told my fiance this not long ago. I was watching all these super successful, and I've told you guys this throughout the video content. I'm watching all these super successful. When I say super successful, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about 100 millionaires, billionaires, and so on and so forth. Some of the most wealthy men and women in our country and outside of our country. I was researching for years. I've been doing it for 5 years. I got myself caught up in I should be further along because here they are here. And it started leading me down a bad rabbit hole. And I started beating my whole entire life up, forgetting the fact that, dumbass, you used drugs and alcohol for 20 years, woke up one day, stopped that shit on a fucking dime. You also smoked cigarettes for 25 years, and you fucking stopped that, maybe even longer. You stopped that within the past couple weeks. We're making progress. Don't forget to congratulate yourself for making progress. Everybody's life is different, right? You can't compare yourself to the 18-year-old kid on fucking Instagram standing next to a Bugatti, right? You can't do that. Everybody's situations growing up is different. Everybody's circumstances and reselling is different. You can't look at hopefully, people like Tech and Sports and stuff won't mind me using their name. You can't look at Tech and Sports and be like, I'm not there yet, so I'm a fucking failure. That is not true. That is not true. Who constitutes or who writes it in ink what failure is and failure isn't? I'll tell you what failure is: giving up. If you haven't gave up yet, you are not failing, you're succeeding. The only time we fail as a reseller or in life is when you give up. I, for 25 years, tried thousands of times to stop using drugs and alcohol. Sometimes by choice, sometimes forced because I was incarcerated, right? Didn't work. One day, woke up, didn't want it no more, quit. Cold turkey, never touched it again. I succeeded at that. But it took me 25 fucking years to succeed at that. Do you see what I'm saying? It took me 25 years. Some people will fall on it for 6 months. They'll hit the rock bottom in 6 months, and they'll quit the fucking next day. Never touch it again. It only took them 6 months. Everybody's different. 25 years I failed at quitting using drugs and alcohol. But I didn't quit trying. And I succeeded at that. Might have took me a long fucking stretch. It might take us a long stretch to get successful on reselling. As long as you don't quit, you're not a fucking failure. Right? I just said it right there. I just said 20 to 25 years drugs and alcohol. Haven't touched a drop or a hit or a snort or nothing in 5-6 years. But it took me almost 25 fucking years to be able to achieve that. Did I fail at stop using drugs? Am I a failure at it? No, I'm not. I succeeded at it. I won. I got control of my life after that many years, right? So the next person, maybe they got clean in 1 year. Congratulations to them too, right? But that wasn't my course, and that's not how it went for me. I chose to be hard-headed, stubborn, and ignorant for a lot more years. Where at that point in my life, I was 37, 36, whatever it was. I should have, most people at that point in life with not having nothing to look forward to would have just kept on going down the same fucking road until they OD'd or something like that. And I could have easily fell into that same trap and continue doing that, right? But one day, woke up sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I fucking stopped. I never stopped quitting. As long as you don't stop and give up in this journey, you are not failing. Just because this person has it looks like they have a smooth fucking road on the eBay journey, you're not seeing the hiccups they went through. You're not seeing their story. You're not seeing how many people they have bringing them inventory. You're not seeing the whole journey. They went through struggles just like you and I went through. They just didn't never stop. They didn't quit. They might have got pissed off and quit for the day, slept on it, woke up the next day and said, nope, I'm going at it again. And they just didn't quit. As long as you don't quit, you are succeeding. I don't care what anybody says. We live a life, okay, I'm 41 years young now. I'll be 42 years young this year. Wow, crazy. The grades are showing it, right? 42 years I've lived, right? Thank the good Lord up above. 42 years, almost 42 years I've been here. Do you know how many fucking failures I've had? I couldn't count on my hair. I couldn't count per hair follicle. I've had so many. So what I'm trying to get at, just because you had some failures throughout your journey means you're a failure? No, it doesn't. Just because I failed a lot of times in my life doesn't make me as a person a failure. Does it? Doesn't make you a failure if you failed a lot in life. I don't believe it does. Everybody fails. Just some people have a way of showing it where it didn't impact them. And they keep going. Right? There ain't one single person in this entire world that's went through life without a fucking failure. Or thousands of fucking failures. Your failures will lead you to the success in the future. Your failures on eBay are going to lead you to the success in the future. As long as you continue to execute. The moment you stop executing, throwing in the towel, say, fuck this, I can't take it no more, that is when you fail. So failure is an option. Complete failure is an option. You get that choice and you made that decision. I, just like Victor in this group, had a complete store go fucking upside down. Now, Victor's situation was different than mine. I can tell mine, but Victor's information's his information. I'm not going to put it out there. But he started again. Does that mean Victor failed on eBay? No, he's still going. I went for an entire year with the COVID and the holidays and everything else like that. My packages were going out, but they weren't getting to the people's houses. They were leaving me terrible feedback. I can't blame them. I probably would have did the same thing. I tried digging myself out below seller's level for 2 months. Didn't work. Finally, I said, hey, man, you know what? I'm just going to pick a niche and start a completely new store. And that's what I did. And here I am 2.5 years into this one, or 3 years into this one, I should say. No, 2.5 years. Did not fit. 2.5. 3. You know what? This is crazy. It's 3 or 3.5. Whatever. That doesn't mean I failed, right? That actually takes courage to have one complete store. You put everything you had into, and then it turn upside down, and then you dust it all off and totally forget about that and just go at it again. That takes a lot of courage, and I'm not tooting my own horn. But what doesn't take courage is saying, yeah, fuck it, I knew it wasn't for me, and walking away. That ain't strength, man. That's weakness. That's weakness showing itself of what we will do if times get tough. That's not good to do. You're not failing regardless where you're at on eBay if you're waking up and going at it again today. You're winning. It's your boy Flippin' Stoop. You guys have a rockin' rad-ass night.